I did very well in my secondary school. I was on first class in UNILAG.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was first on the list in the admission list. So like I had the
wow.
highest, in civil engineering. So I did all that first semester year one. I had like 4.8, just one B, and like that was the highest grade in class. But we're like plenty that had that exact 4.86. I
We
think.
all know better than dropout. And he said that a lot. Since I left school, he dropped out from school. And so it brings me to, if you are his friend, did you also graduate from school or did you drop out?
I dropped out too. I dropped out too. Let's make money. If that's the end game.
Yeah.
Then why am I waiting 4 5 years
To start, yeah.
to start that? Why don't I start now?
No.
I realized that a lot of the top people, a lot of the top positions that you want to achieve in life, you don't necessarily need a degree. So if to be the president of an entire
The
country,
number one person
in
is
the
just
country
SS.
is just SSC.
Oh my
So
goodness.
what am I stressing myself doing
Yeah, I get you.
engineering for? Yes, I made a lot of errors in the planning for get to store. Like we were planning very crazy thing. We're like, okay, uh, these people are charging too much for housing. You know, you are renting 250K, agency fee is 50K, agreement fee is 50K, so that's 100K, so 350K. Why are they charging this amount for agency and agreement? So our
Cheaper.
great idea then was let's do it cheaper. So instead of charging people 100K for agency and agreement, let's just charge them only 60K for agency fee and agreement. Well, then we now did the massive 60K per person. How many students are in the lab? If you just get 10% of UNILAG students, blah blah blah. I think the total money was like 6 million or 60 million. Crazy money in our head then. And we're like, yes. And then we got out there, realized that okay, first of all, agreement doesn't even concern you. Then agency fee, you share agency fee with the landlord first. Then because you have to go through, so most landlords don't release the entire agency fee. They say they are agents because they are the one that lets the first set of agents know.
Yeah.
So you leave it for them. Our plan then was for each sale 60K. I think the plan was we'll take 10% and share. Yeah, so we'll take 10% and share. So that was like 3K. So that we used to hold body or something like that. But when we made the first sale and we're making sale of 4K, 10K. And like I said, my mom already told me that I did not send you
You
to
said
school
good
to
business,
so
yeah.
nobody was giving me money from anywhere.
Yo guys, what's up? What's good? How you guys doing? Welcome again to another episode of what do we call this show again? I know it's always me, I'm Mr. Bright, and you guys have enjoyed it so far. Apparently we've done about 6 episodes or something, and it has been fun back to back. Today, I have with me somebody I'm so sure you will never guess will be on this set. Never. Some of you have heard his name, you've read about what he has done, but I bet you don't know, you can't put a face to this person. He is not that person than Mr. Adigun. Now, remember the last time we had this conversation, yeah? I begged, it was not Mr. Brian, you said, Mr. Brian should beg you and bring you on set. We've begged Tiana, we've begged Alex, we've begged everybody. Finally, somebody actually brought him on set. We don't know who, but we shall know that he's on set today. Mr. Adigun, that's having your set.
Thank
How
you
doing?
very much. It's a pleasure.
Oh, finally. Let's go. Now, Mr. Brian, first episode was we roasted him, and then we had like a lot of back and forth. So let's go straight with. So I'll give you guys a true life story. So I went to meet Mr. Adigun. I was like, sir, we'll have you on set. And I was like, please come. And I came. He said, please, will you give me question? I said, sir, we don't give question. No. He's on set. You will find out. But anyways, quick one here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
How's everything?
Fine.
So how do you feel being on set today? Let's begin from there because it's been a tussle. Apparently, the marketing will never have your pictures. We don't have anything that has to do with your face being outside. Pictures we don't have, video we don't have, nothing we have. And I'm like, will you come on set? But yeah, we're out. But then how do you feel being yesterday?
Well, I'm a part of the team, and I'm still. We do marketing, and I'm part of the marketing team more or less. So when the marketing team say they need me, well, I'll be here to.
So which brings me to there was this time, yeah. So we had this new girl, the new content girl,
Okay.
and then she came and she was like, she had the content that they bring, and then she was like, I want to have Mr. Adigun on set. And I was like, you want to meet Mr. Adigun? So come and do what? Mr. Adigun come out between, shake your money. I said, I was like, no, that's not going to be possible. But then, quick one, let's go straight to business here. Now, with your kind of personality, maybe you don't know. I'm here to tell you. I think you're like the most fearful person in this organization. People are so scared of you. If you tell them, come inside the go, you see everybody say, I don't want to go. Say Kiki, say Tiana. But how do you feel knowing that people are scared of you? Or you don't know?
I don't know.
As in, I'm telling you, they're scared of you.
Okay, please don't let the viewers have wrong impression of me. 'Cause I'm not a scary boss. I think I feel I'm approachable, especially those that I work with a lot. They know this.
Yeah,
So maybe for quite a number of people, especially the new guys,
yeah,
they don't
true.
have much relationship with me. But for those that have been there a long time, I have. Uh, I'm always open, just like Bright. Just that Bright is more
Yeah,
out there
yeah, true.
than me. But like for those on sites, hardly does any one of them not call me. So because that's where I
Yeah,
supervise mostly. So and I have that relationship with them. And then for those on the office too that at least I've been here a long time and I have worked with personally,
yeah.
they also have that relationship with me. So Kiki, Okwe, and the rest like that.
Especially Okpe. Okay, Okpe should be banned. But anyway, let's move on to the next question here. So, was there at any point where keeping your identity was intentional? Like, was it like you just did not want to be out there? Because first of all, I don't know if anybody have searched. I've never seen your Instagram page before, and I know you are on Instagram. I know because I've seen you sometimes where you're like, see this post, and I'm like, so how is he seeing this post if it's not on Instagram? But we've never seen your page anywhere. So was it intentional that you don't want to put yourself out there and you like being local and everything?
Yes, it is. It's I'm introverted in
Yeah, true.
nature, and but I think a lot of this thing actually started a little bit from when we started doing ghetto style services,
Oh,
and
okay.
then a lot of people don't want to see the boss, they want to see the boss, they want to see the boss, or they want to speak with your oga. So it started as a joke between Bright and I, where if I'm with a client, they want to speak with my oga, I just call
Go
Bright.
Bryce.
And once I call Bright and I'm saying hello, sir, and it's the same thing. Anytime Bright calls me and he says hello, sir, I know the game already. That okay, this is what we are doing, so that we can
Oh,
convince the client. So it became like that, and then after a while, I just more or less, especially when we started Flinks.
yeah.
When we started Flinks, I just moved straight to sites, and then I left marketing entirely for Bright.
Bright, yeah.
So I didn't feel the need of always putting
Coming
myself out there, posting myself at least
out
out
there.
there and stuff like that. So that was why.
But anyways, that's worked perfectly. Anyways, moving on to the next question. Yeah, you spoke about Bright and how you met him from ghettos and everything. Um, how did you meet Bright?
Year one was my roommate. I think my very first interaction with him was I was moving into the school hostel in Jaja, and my uncle was the one who brought me to the hostel.
Okay.
So he came with my I came with my loads, and we're staying on the third floor. I carried my loads there. No, okay. I first went to verify the room.
Okay.
So then that was when I saw Bright first time. I was leaving the room, coming out, and I was going there, and then we talked, and Bright was shirtless. It's hostel anyway, so he was shirtless, carrying plates. I think wanted to go and wash plates or something like that, and I was going to the kitchen. And I went inside, I dropped my stuff, and then uh, when I went back down to tell my uncle, well, Dad, you met somebody there, you left your stuff there, that are you not worried he's going to steal it?
That's
And
Bright.
yeah. So, but that was how Bright and I met. So it was the first roommate I met in 100 level, but there
Okay.
were others. They just weren't in the room as
Oh,
at
yeah.
then. A few others came like much later, but that was how Bright and I got acquainted.
Okay, so yeah, from the conversation, yeah, we began from ghetto style. Now we're doing flings, and it's been a long journey.
Yeah.
So far, knowing the kind of person who Bright can be, because we've seen a lot of times where we have people doing business and they have a lot of back and forth. As a matter of fact, even recently we saw even brothers, P Square, they couldn't keep relationship when it comes to money and everything. Now, have you ever at any point had a misunderstanding with Bright that looked like I want to or something like that?
I think like in all relationships, there's bound to be quarrels and
Yeah, true.
disagreements. And it was very common in like the first 4 5, even I think till date. Anytime we see someone from way back, are you and Bright still together?
Like you're expecting to
Like,
break.
are you people expecting us to break up? So yes, we've had disagreements, but Communication is what's very important, and knowing how to communicate, how to raise what's it called, discussions, how to have
Yeah.
those tough discussions is very important. So a lot of times, if there are issues like that, we pick a neutral location outside, maybe most likely, usually outside where we stay. So maybe like a restaurant or blah blah blah. We talk. Sometimes it's even in the office. We just stay behind and offer this thing that we talked about. So we try not to, especially things that are difficult. We try not to like
Yeah.
when we notice there's conflict, we try not to insist. We try for myself, I don't try to insist on it has to be done my way, and he also doesn't try to insist on it has to be done his way too. So when we have a deadlock like that, it's just let's go and think about it. Let's go and think about it. And sometimes when it has to do with performance, maybe I'm not doing well or he's not doing well from what we had already planned for like the year. So if we are doing analysis, quarterly checkups and stuff like that too. So it's just guy how far. At the end of the day, we are in this for money, and I think we realize that we can do much better together than individually.
True.
So it doesn't benefit any one of us
To be,
to,
yeah, to be
yeah.
alone.
And we've been through a lot in the business, especially in the early years. So, and when you go through like tough times with someone, and then you get to see who the person really is.
Yeah.
And we didn't have issues of there's issues and one person is nowhere to be seen or stuff like that. Both of us just kept turning up in instances like that, and I think it's one of the things that really like strengthened
True.
our bond. Yeah.
Sure. Anyways, this one might be a bit cheeky and very funny. We all know Buddy's a dropout. And he said that a lot. Since I left school, he dropped out from school. And so it pricks me to, if you are his friend, did you also graduate from school? Did you drop out?
I dropped out too. I dropped out too.
Who dropped out first?
Bright dropped out first. In fact, when he told me he dropped out, I gagged. Was insane. Like, why? Because the reason was I think I feel my own reason for dropping out is a little bit more justified than his.
Okay.
Bright's reason for dropping out was basically he didn't like school and school wasn't for him anymore, and uh, he just left school like that. And then he publicized it.
Oh,
Yeah, he told his parents, he told his mom, he told people in his church, blah blah blah. And then there were now a lot of pressure on him.
yeah.
So after a while, he went back to school.
Okay.
So I was in 300 level. He dropped out towards the end of our 200 level. That was when he dropped out. I didn't know. That was the crazy thing too. We've been doing the business, get stuff for a while. I didn't know Bright dropped out
Oh,
till I think it was during exam time, and I was like, "Guy, you're not going to go and read or something like that." And then that was when he mentioned that he dropped out. But we'd been doing the business for a while already, so I just did. My mind just never went there.
yeah.
But in 300 level, towards the end of 300 level, uh Bright was now supposed to come back. So that was like after like a year.
Yeah.
So he went back. I think he went back to actuarial science, and but that was also when I now dropped out. I was ending up 300 level. Yeah, because we were going through a lot at that time, and both of us were like, there was one thing my parents said in passing that it always rang in my head, which was that was when we started Get to Stell, and we started Get to Stell during like holidays. Everybody had gone home, so I was still in school because of the
Yeah.
business, and they didn't give me food stuff. They didn't give me money, like pocket money or stuff like that. Because my mom said something which was like, "Ah, I did not send you to go and start
Business.
business."
Yeah. Everybody says that.
So I remember then I went with like maybe half a bag of gari, but not I just carried along. We used to take gari a lot then. So when we started having like major issues that needed to be resolved, it was now an issue of my parents must not find out. So I need to do whatever is possible. I
To
need to
make
give my
sure, yeah.
best to make sure that okay, this thing turns out well. And a lot. Well, I don't know if Bright have said some of this story, but a lot was going on that period, and it felt like that was the best thing to do. So it wasn't drop out per se. My intention was to defer.
Oh, okay.
So I
Okay.
went to meet my course advisor. I want to defer, blah blah blah, but it didn't work out. So I couldn't defer,
Yeah.
and then
Hence,
Because I hadn't gone for any classes throughout the semester. I didn't do any tests. I didn't do any assignments.
So
So
there was
it
no
just
even need
felt like
to.
if I just go and write this exam, I'm wasting my time, obviously.
True.
So I just like, you know what?
But then, to be very honest, do you think when you figured out that Bright already dropped out, do you think it's kind of made a shift to your mind, like it is possible to drop out?
Yeah, definitely. I think even before it dropped out, it had been an issue for me because why I started business, though I've always loved business, I'd been reading a lot of business books. That was
Yeah.
even why Bright, when he had the idea for Get Hostel, he came to meet me.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Was because he knew I read a lot of business book and I was very interested. And I started reading those business book because I fell out of love for school. So I did very well in my secondary school. I was on first class in UNILAG.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was first on the list in the admission list. So I had the
wow.
highest, yeah, in civil engineering.
Oh,
So I did all that first semester year one. I had like 4.8, just one B, and like that was the highest grade in the class. But we're like plenty that had that exact 4.86, I think. But immediately after that, my interest in school just went down because I started reading a lot of business books, started reading a lot of self-help book on personal development and stuff like that. And I realized that if the end game is let's make money, if that's the end game,
yeah.
then why am I waiting 4 or 5 years
To start, yeah.
to start that? Why don't I start now?
Now,
And I realized that a lot of the top people, a lot of the top positions that you want to achieve in life, you don't necessarily need a degree. To be the president of Nigeria,
you
for
don't need.
instance,
You
it's
don't.
just your
Yeah,
SSC
SSC, yeah.
certificate, and I have that. So, if to be the president of an entire
The number
country,
one
the
person
number one person in
is
the
just
country
SSC.
is just SSC,
Oh my
so
goodness.
what am I stressing myself doing
Yeah, I get you.
engineering for? So that was I also yeah, him dropping out made it more realistic because now
Yeah.
I know someone that actually
Yeah, true.
dropped out, and I saw the mistakes he did in dropping out, which was publicizing it to everybody.
So you
So,
kept
so
yours.
there were a lot of pressure on him to go back to school. So when I just did it, I didn't tell anybody.
Oh,
So other than my classmate didn't even know initially, because when we resumed, I wasn't going to classes, which was kind of like
strange.
strange and all. But they started reaching out to me, and I was like, I go come. So, like I said, my plan was initially to defer. So when the
Yeah. You
different
pull
thing
out.
didn't go out, well, I
I
just left
guess.
it like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, but then, before we go to real estate questions, yeah, would you say it was a better? Did you say it paid off?
Definitely, 100%. Because this is 2024. I have quite a number of my classmates now that are just trying to figure out what exactly
The ones to do.
they want to do. So some of them they go and further their studies. Some of them go and restart in another career entirely. A lot of them are learning programming and stuff like that. Some of them are even in finance, so they are working for KPMG and accounting firms. And these are people that did civil
Civil
engineering.
engineering.
So, and I'm like, so what was your whole 5 years or six
Yeah.
6 to 7 years safe? Because there was 2020 that was like
COVID.
COVID and ASU strike, and then there's still NYSC involved again. So like you 7 6 7 years and you are just starting.
Doing KPMG.
Meanwhile I've been able to grow myself, and we've been able to grow the business too in general to a reasonable extent too. So I know I know for sure that it
It
paid
paid
off.
off.
Yeah.
I'm moving on to real estate question, and that's like what is the business of the day. Earlier last month, I think 2 months ago, we did 1 billion 100 days. And that
Yeah.
was like a major milestone. I recall when Bright mentioned it, he said he had spoken to you, and it was a lot of back and forth. Is it possible, not possible? And when he told us, it was more like, can we do it? But then 100 days, we did it. Now, when we announced to you that we have done 100 million and 1 billion, how did you feel? First, that we've done 1 billion 100 days, how did you feel?
This 1 billion 100 days thing. Well, I think the achievement is something that I celebrated long ago. Because when Bright and I have discussions like this and we set targets like this, we try and make it like big, big enough, or large enough, massive enough that even when you feel you at least
Very
still
close.
achieve, not even very close, but you still achieve something you never thought you could have achieved.
Yeah.
So 1 billion, we've had 1 billion naira in sales since like 2020, I think, has been like one of our major targets. And it was one of the reasons why we even left Get to Steal, the business, because we're like, how many units of accommodation do you want to help students get to achieve
1 billion.
1 billion? And I've always been the kind of person that was like, as agents, you are paying me 10K, 20K in agency fee by the time everybody shares, and that's what's coming to my side or to the company side. And but the landlord is seeing 300K, 200K. So it's obvious that this landlord is the main person
Yeah.
making the most of the money. So I've always, in fact, that was what geared my decision into civil engineering in the first place. My interest in construction and property development. So in setting goals, we try and set big goals. So we set goal of 1 billion since 2020, and then we've always been looking at, okay, how do we achieve this? How do we
Yeah.
achieve this? How do we achieve this? So we're supposed to make maybe 1 billion naira in sales in 2022. I think that was one of our goals. Maybe in 2022, and we did not even try. And in 2023, I think, okay, so 2022 was 400 million.
Oh, okay.
We goal was 400 million, and we only did like 90 90 something million.
2022.
Yeah, 90 something million. I don't think if it was 100, maybe 100 and something million in total in 2022. But we failed, right? Because our goal was 400 million.
400
But the
million,
preceding year, our total sales was like maybe 15K or so. Sorry, 150K. So going from 150K in sales to like 90
yeah.
something million,
That was a massive
so that was a
progress.
massive. So
Yeah.
we failed in the fact of 400. We didn't meet 400, but obviously compared
You
to
succeeded.
we
Yeah.
succeeded. So when we did for 2023 was 1 billion, 1 billion, but we didn't meet the 1 billion in 2023. We got maybe 400 and something million. Yeah, 400 or thereabout. It still looks like we failed too.
Yeah,
But
but
now, compared to the previous year,
yeah, I get
we've
now.
done better. And when we hit that milestone eventually, we don't celebrate it because we are still feeling like
Yeah, I get now.
we
I
are still
get
feeling
now.
like, oh, we could have done better, or this is last year's goal. We are just hitting it now, but this is last year's goal. So we've celebrated it
Yeah, I
last
get
year,
you. I get
basically.
you. I
So
get you.
when it happens again, so when we set 10 billion, even 50 billion, it comes, yes, you'll be happy, obviously, because man, you just did this thing and it's amazing. It's just like a salesperson closing a sale too. You might have been thinking, dreaming of it, blah blah blah. So when it actually comes, it's amazing. But
Sure.
you don't spend too long trying to celebrate it
Yeah,
unless
yeah, true.
you lose your momentum.
Yeah.
Yes, and you move to
Move
the
on.
next thing.
So we move to this. If you're not doing real estate in the picture, what would you be doing? If there
Ah,
was no real estate at all in
if
the
there was
picture?
no real estate, most likely agriculture.
Oh,
Yeah, because my first business was agriculture, and I'm still very much interested in the agricultural space. So if I was not doing real estate, I'll be doing agriculture.
wow! I think I heard somebody mentioning that you had a farm somewhere. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. I have a farm that I'm setting up somewhere.
Now it makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
now I can add it all together. And it makes sense. Okay, so I want to say this one here. We all know that every good business has its own challenges. Nothing comes easy like that. For when we spoke to Bryce, he mentioned his own challenges dealing with people. His own that's peculiar to what he does and everything. Now, in your experience in real estate, what would you say has been your biggest challenge so far?
That would be hard to point out because there has been plenty and plenty challenges, and I want to say I've kind of gotten used to the fact that there's always going to be one or two
One
more
problem.
challenge. So I have somewhat desensitized to if this is a big challenge and if this is a small
Point.
challenge because
Yeah, I
I'm just
get
used to,
so many.
okay, I handle construction now, so a lot of issues. In fact, almost every day there's one issue on site or the other.
True.
Almost every day,
Almost
and
every
we
day.
have multiple sites now. So every on a daily basis there's ABC, this blah 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 blah, and it comes up like that, and we have to look for solutions
Solution
fast. So
instantly.
I don't dwell on too much of. But I think the biggest thing that could be of an issue is maybe lack of awareness. Lack of awareness, and that can easily be solved by just trying to know more, whatever means possible, and through mentorship too, because they are the things you don't know, and they are the things you don't know.
Yeah.
So the things you don't know, you can easily read a book, go online, get more information on it, so that you know how to do it better or handle stuff better. But there are the things that you are not even aware you
That
should
is-
be. You should be in the know, and that one mentorship can actually help out with that too.
Sure.
So there have been so many, but I can't pick out one.
Okay, so this one came. This is a question that Ope brought it out. So just so in case it sounds anyhow. So Ope said, and it's something we've observed. So when I joined the firm, I figured out that Mr. Bright was always at the PA, and that was Stephanie, she was a female, and then he got another Alex, female. For Mr. Degu, I've never seen the female PA. It's always guys. Your PA apparently is a guy. I don't know, like, why you having guys female? Like, why can't you just have a female PA?
It's not intentional. First of all, the PA interview, I
Yeah.
was not in the PA interview at all. Bright handled it. So I
okay,
did
that
not
makes sense.
choose that. And like I said, Bright is marketing. A lot of those in marketing and sales are female.
Female, yeah.
Is used to being around females a lot. I am on site. Hardly would you see a female engineer, not to not even talk of a female worker like a bricklayer or for a female foreman in any.
Yeah, I think I've seen
So
it.
it's not. I don't know. So it's just that way.
I think it makes sense now. We bring us to this also from Okpe. So he said, your answers to this one will lead us to the next one. So he said I should ask you on national TV that, are you married? So let's start from there. Because last time I was talking about Bright said I was going to get married sometime this year. Was it this year or next year? So help me, please, bless you. Next year, Bright said we're going to get married next year. So of course, I was like, okay, let's also know as so we can also plan how we buy should be and now do this. So let's ask, so what's the plan? Are you married as we speak?
I'm married.
So in case you guys don't know, Sadiki just confirmed that he's married, so it's clear, cut, and understood. Now I figured out Oxford is a yearly rental thingy.
Yep.
Little is monthly rental. Then when I mean monthly rental, like studio apartments, people come in, pay, party, and all of that. Was it in the roadmap from beginning, or we began with yearly rental fee? We just felt like we could have earned more with shortlet, or was it like we just figured out that let's start with yearly, and then there's a time in this company where we'll go straight into shortlets?
We started with yearly, but in one of these our plenty brain sessions, Bright and I, long ago, we had looked at it that the best roadmap was to shift ultimately to monthly rental. And this was because of the challenges that we see people face in terms of getting accommodation. Like all the time running the first business, get to still, and you see people struggle to get accommodation because by the time they save up, so the average rent is 100K, 150K back then with agency agreements, then maybe 250K thereabouts. And by the time people save up this money and they want to make payment, then they're telling them that rent is no longer that price, or things have gone up. You know how the country is. So things have gone up. Then you have to start another round of savings again. Especially for young people just trying to get apartments for the very first time.
Very difficult.
It's very difficult for them. So even personally, my elder brother was on the housing market for over a year trying to get accommodation, and he will keep calling me, Adigun, you see what your people are doing to me, because you see a place that you like but you know is way out of your budget, and you see a place that is in your budget and you know that you can't even pay me to stay here. So we realized that the best alternative was to have a monthly rental system, so that it will bring down the cost of getting the accommodation. So instead of needing nowadays over $1 million just to rent a studio apartment, now you just need maybe 200, 300K, and you'll be able to move in. So that time of basically saving to make payments, you're already in a house and you're saving, and then you're just making
it's easier now.
It's easier now. You're just making your next payment and your next payment on a monthly basis, rather than having to
Save up everything
and before you finish saving, price
increased
has gone
again.
up.
Okay, so we're almost through with this, but then let's talk about it. What's the future of links? Now, we currently, I think our project on sale now, we have
Yeah,
Bradford is currently on sales, and then we have talked about Bradford Suite also.
yeah.
And then these are projects that are really amazing. Bradford Suite is so amazing that it's changing. If you see what it looked like, you think you're on the island. Like that thing is looking like the island kind of thingy. But then, if we, and we've seen the progress from Oxford to how we've always grown, it has been amazing. Our building are always better than the last one we've
Yeah.
done. Bradford Street is looking like it's one of the best so far. Now, with all of this, what is the future saying? What are we going to be doing moving on 10 years from now, 20 years from now?
Uh, our ultimate goal or our main vision since the inception of this company has always been building 100,000 units of
Yeah,
apartments. So, and everything we do has been geared into how do we make that possible,
possible.
because
Yeah,
we are trying to solve the housing deficits in the country. And Lagos is the place with like the most of the deficit, because a lot of people want to stay in Lagos. There aren't as many land or houses
yeah,
in Lagos.
true.
So 100,000 units, and we've been looking at how do we want to scale to get 100,000
100,000.
units of accommodation. So it's a tough question, and it's why we took it on, because if it was easy, everybody
That
would
would
have
have
done
been,
it.
yeah,
There
true.
won't be that much fulfillment in doing it. So we've always been looking at how do we. So that is the next phase. The next phase now is how can we do 1,000 units a year. Once we figure out how we can do 1,000 units a year, it's how do we do 10,000 units a year. Then once we figure out how we do 10,000 units a year, then it's only a matter of time
To do
to keep
100, yeah.
knowing how we are going to. Because we are doing construction. Construction is not easy to replicate. It's not like an app where you to get 1,000 users or 10,000, 100,000 or 100 million users. It's just a thing of downloading the app. We're talking about building houses. So it's time consuming. It's cost a lot of money to do, cost a lot of manpower to execute too. So we are looking at how to make all this possible. So 1,000 units first. After 1,000 units
10,000
here, then
units.
10,000 units,
Then,
and
yeah.
then definitely we pump out 100,000, because with every year that goes by, the deficit only gets worse. It only
Yeah.
gets worse because you only have more people
Few
migrating to
apartments.
Lagos, or people giving birth in Lagos, and then the population of Lagos too keeps
Increasing,
increasing.
increasing, yeah.
And there are nobody's making new land anywhere. At least the
True.
ones that they are dredging on the island is very expensive.
Very
So you
expensive.
can't.
If you try, if you go there, you know it's very
It's
expensive.
not. It's
Very
not an
expensive.
option for young guys like us.
True.
So
Anyways, finally, before we leave this set, this is a concern. I saw one of our posts on RiseBiz where somebody came out to say he's a young realtor out there. He joined that process, and has been pushing through, meeting up with clients. Very difficult to close deals, and the client are always giving him, "I'm coming. I'll get back to you," and he's almost frustrated. Now that person is listening to us right now. What would you advise that kind of person?
Uh, information is very important. One thing I learned in one of my so many self-help books was if there's anything that you need that you are not getting, it's always in the hands of, it's just one information you need
Yeah.
to figure it out. So if you are not getting clients, you have to look at it as, is there something you are doing wrong? Or is there something you don't know? Is there something you need to tweak? I remember there was a time when a lot of our sales, Grace, Cherish, when they newly resumed, they used to chat up a lot of clients, and they were not making sales. And then one time I just told Bride, Alpha, let's go through their WhatsApp chat. Let's even see what exactly is going on. And then we discovered that they are chatting with so many people, and they are only telling them, oh, if they ask for example, if they're asking about Bashford Suites, they give them all the necessary information, and you don't even ask them for inspection. So they were not trying to close a sale. It's like how you are watching a YouTube video, and then the content creator is always telling you, like my videos, subscribe my videos. You are giving them a call to action.
Yeah. Sit here.
So they've enjoyed the content, and you do not tell them to like, you do not tell them to subscribe. You are not going to enjoy the same growth rate on your page, like compared to those that regularly
Tell
tells their
them.
audience that, okay, like and comment my video. So when you guys, you are not telling these people to come for inspection, and we just told them, yeah, start telling these people to come for inspection. Don't give them all the information. Most
Yeah.
times, they need to come and
See
see
it,
the
yeah.
property themselves too, so that they can start falling in love with the location and all the other things associated with the project itself too, not just the features. They are not buying it because of the tiles you are using or because of the kind of cement you want to use. So when they started doing that, they started getting more people coming for inspection. Then it now went from, okay, now we have more people coming for inspection. How do we now get them to actually pay? And after a while, Bright started following them on their inspections. So when he started following them on their inspections, seeing how they interact with clients, you could tell them, okay, do this way,
Do
do
that,
this
yeah.
way. And then it now led to more sales. And a few people that were having difficulties, okay, you know what, if you're having difficulties, come and bring your clients, let them meet me, then we sit down and discuss. So there has to be one thing that is missing that you have not really, maybe you
Figured.
don't know what is even missing yet, but getting information, reading a lot of books on sales and will help you figure out, oh, maybe this thing I've not tried it, and maybe that's why
Yeah.
I'm not making as much sales as
That's
I,
how,
I would
yeah.
like to. So that's just it.
Anyways, guys, just like Mr. Digo mentioned, if you don't tell people what to do, they will not do it. So, guys, listen to me out there. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. I've told you, like our page, comment on our page, and please subscribe on our page. I've done what I said we should do. Let's see if it works, and I'm trusting I know it's going to work. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us for this one. Finally, before I leave this set, I do this to everybody's coming for the very first time. I'm always giving them a bigger story. So if you get one day an interview, he told the guy, was like, so the guy asked him, said, sir, how did you feel when you made your first $1 million? And Bill Gates said, I can't remember. So it was like, he said, do you have a biro? So the guy gave him a biro, then he wrote a check of $1 million and he gave the guy. And the guy ran mad and he came back and Bill said, that was how I felt. And I was like, wow. But the guy kept the money, shall. So I want to ask, so how did you feel when you made your first 10,000 naira?
Ah, validation.
You remembered?
Yeah, I
Ah,
do. I do, because you don't, like I said, we started Get to Stell
yeah, you
during the
mentioned
holidays, at least because I've made money before Get to Stell. I've done several
businesses.
businesses before Get to Stell, but that Get to Stell one, I remember it a lot because this was supposed to be ending of 200 levels. So we're supposed to be on holiday
Yeah.
at home, relaxing. And I even sold my phone then, trying
Oh.
to raise money to start, because I was one that wrote out the business plan for Ghetto Style. So I wrote out the business plan. I figured out how much we needed. I think it was like 100K we needed to start. Turns out we could have started with less, because a lot of the things we spend money on was just absolute waste. We're spending money on business card and all stuff like that. So yeah, I sold my phone so that we could be able to to raise money for the business, which was a stupid idea also, because our business was to get customers to come and buy. You need a phone
This
to
is to
make
reach out to,
calls.
yeah.
So I wasn't thinking. I was just, I love this idea, blah, blah, blah. So I did that. When we started, we were going out. We're always meeting in, I think, Quadrangle in engineering. Then yeah, we met at every morning. We meet at Quadrangle in engineering. We'll talk, strategize, enter WhatsApp groups, start entering anyhow, sending BCs, blah blah blah. During that time, Bright's phone was stolen also, so he had to get money to buy a new one, and we went through a lot. And it was more like, I could be at home in my parents' house, eating,
I'm not
relaxing.
going through the
I could be in
stress.
my cousin's place. I could be visiting friends. I was in a relationship then too, and the relationship was still fairly new. So I was like, I could be at
With your
least, and
girlfriend.
and she stayed close to my parents' place, which
Oh.
is Yanokwaja. And I'm in Unilag, so like I could be at home too close to Viv, and I'm here. So definitely I do remember what it felt
So
like.
making,
And
yeah.
is, like I said, it was validation, because when we had the person paying, and we're like, wow,
It's
this is
possible.
this is this is possible. This is possible. It wasn't what we had imagined, because yes, I made a lot of errors in the planning for Get to Stell. Like, we were planning very crazy thing. We're like, okay, these people are charging too much for housing. You are renting 250K. agency fee is 50K, agreement fee is 50K, so that's 100K, so 350K. Why are they charging this amount for agency and agreement? So
We'll do it
our great
cheaper.
idea then was, let's do it cheaper. So instead of charging people 100K for agency and agreement, let's just charge them only 60K for agency fee and agreement. When then we now did the massive 60K per person. How many students are in UNILAG? If we just get 10% of UNILAG students, blah blah blah. I think the total money was like 6 million or 60 million. Crazy money in our head then. And we're like, yes. And then we got out there, realized that okay, first of all, agent agreement doesn't even concern you. Then agency fee, you share agency fee with the landlord first. Then
Whoa.
because you have to go through, yeah, so most landlords don't release the entire agency fee. They say they are agents because they are the one that lets the first set of agents know.
Yeah.
So you leave it for them. Then because you two, you don't have good relationship with landlords, you are new in the business, you had to get, you knew that the property was available for rental through another agent, so you still have to share that money with the
With that,
agent
yeah.
too. So when we figured out all this, wow, we are in over our heads because this is not as profitable as
We thought it
we
was.
thought it was. Our plan then was for each sale 60K. I think the plan was we take 10% and share. Yeah, so we'll take 10% and share. So that's like 3K, 3K. So that we used to hold body or something like that. But when we made the first sale and we're making sale of 4K, 10K, and like I
Oh my
said,
god.
my mom already told me that I did not send
You
you to
said
school
good
to go to,
business.
so nobody
Yeah.
was giving me money from anywhere.
That was just crazy.
So we're like, guy, let's do 20%. So
Oh my
so
god.
when 10K enters, I'll take 2K, right to take 2K.
Whoa.
Then the remaining 6K we keep, and we'll keep for the business for
Yeah.
whatever purposes. So yeah, well, it was good knowing that you could go out there, talk to people, and they make payment, and then money just comes. It was
True.
almost like you're manufacturing your own money.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
it was amazing.
Oh wow, this was actually a great one. I won't lie to you. Speaking with Barrett and Sadiq has shown the fact that these are two amazing people who know what they want to do in life and they achieved it knowing that they want to do it. So it also speaks to the fact that you and I can do it, and this is why we're doing this for you guys to watch it, learn, and take one or two tips from what they've said. And I'm just happy. We'll catch you guys on the very, very next one.